probably isn't. Hey, we're going to split the
What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Welcome back to another episode of the Queen Candy Podcast on another edition of our Sunday Positivity Talk. Okay, y'all, I think we told our husband we was gonna be talking about this. He actually gave us the topic or the idea, whether he know that or not, about our people accepting the truth and real knowledge of who they are. And what we're going to do today is, of course, we're going to do the intro, then come back in. We're going to talk about the women, and we're going to need hubby help a little bit, if he don't mind, talking about the men's side. Because, of course, obviously, we're not a male, so we ain't got no clue or no idea, even being around them, on how, under Islam, under righteousness, how men should conduct themselves. Is that the word? Would be the proper word we use? Because they are designed to be the leader in every aspect. Women, not saying our role is any smaller, because it's really not, because we're supposed to work hand in hand and have the same goal in mind, if you will, and be able to work together as a team. And that's something that ourself, and we already know our husband, we don't see none of, because we don't know, and we say this on every single show, why men and women can't stick together. Thanks to our husband. Shut up. But it's true. We only stick together, when we can get a benefit, money or favor, or I owe you, however you take that, or you owe me, or uh, pay me back somewhere down the line. That means they more than likely want something in return. Um, as far as we know, we can honestly say we've never really seen anybody, very rarely, um, along our journey, along the way, we've had people really help us, rarely, and want something in return, or didn't want something in return. Majority of the time, the first thing we said, they want something in return, but very rarely have we seen people do things, help us out, whether it be a place to stay, whatever, and then want something. And that's something that we need to really change and work on, because we can play the role all we want, but really, if we gon' not if, when we gonna stop everything, all this unrighteousness and nonsense that's going on, we're gonna have to. Another phrase we laugh at that we hear our people use is come together. Currently, we're not doing that, but when the time comes, we're gonna have to, and we really laugh. But we're gonna get into all that, y'all. We really laugh, because we don't know what that really means. We said this numerous times here on the show. That means, no backstabbing, no stealing somebody's wife or husband, which if they let you ain't really stealing. But anyway, um, no competing. And like we said, we can only speak for the ladies. We don't really know how the fellas get down. We've seen it, but like we said, we ain't a man, so we, don't really know firsthand. Lying, backstabbing, arguing, disagreeing, attitude. We can go down the list. So actually helping, like we just said, like without expecting somebody to do something for you. Your blessings, and when you put good out there in the world, it always comes back. That's something we always believed in. You put in negativity and you put in hate and all that out there in the world, and we were Just when we think we understand, like when people do it and it happens to them, they want sympathy. They want you to feel sorry for them, and majority of the time, and we know this from experience as well, we caused it. Whatever happens, you bring it on yourself. So if you're putting good out there and you helping people out and not really asking them for nothing, because like we said, that's not what it's really supposed to be about. We've helped people before and we've been on our last, and we can only thing we can think of is like we gave women a ride, whether they had kids or not. And no lie, like our car would be on E and they try to give us gas money and we'd be like, nah, we didn't help you to do that. Only thing we can really say is, we've been there. Um, so we know what it's like. We had to figure it out plenty of times on our own. Well, we weren't on our own, but we didn't know it yet. But y'all get what we mean. Nobody on this earth that should have been there was there to help us. Allah was with us. Of course, we didn't know, like we just said at the time, but we had to figure it out. Um, so now we never really asked for anything in that aspect at all. You know, I think we talk to our husband about this all the time. Compassion and sympathy and understanding is it's a long list, but it's so many of them things that our people lack. We just full of hate and rage and revenge and being right and being important and being number one, which we just learned what that really means because nobody can ever get close to that. We don't care how much money you make, how hard you try, uh, how high on a ladder, if you will, that you get. You will never be number one. Allah is always gonna be number one. So, we really still learning that, honestly, watching this idiot box. See, man, we keep saying the same words you saying. We starting to sound like our husband now. Well, that's what it is. TV, television programming, though. It, all day. But we still learning that. Like, he gonna be number one. Bottom line. That's why when we gonna get into this after the break, we don't understand why ladies will we compete to have more than the other when we all can look good and eat and be successful, be good. But as long as everybody looking out for self and not looking out for nobody else, that's not gonna happen. At least not right now. We hate to even really say it, like that's all people think about. Straight up. Is they self. Pretty much. And we're gonna be forced, hate to say that, we're gonna be forced to help somebody out. And that's when you really gonna be put to the test. That's why we always say it's a choice. Ain't nobody to blame but yourself. We can't put it no more simple than that. So what we are going to do, y'all, is go into our first break. And when we come back, ladies, we finna holler at y'all about knowing the truth, accepting it, and being the Asiatic black woman that you really are. So, what we're going to do is take our first commercial break, and we will be back on the Queen Candy Podcast. Hey y'all, just like that, we are back on the Queen Candy Podcast for another edition of our Sunday Positivity Talk. Okay, so we're gonna take this segment to holler at the ladies, and before anybody says anything, keyword we're gonna be using is used to. Two keywords because a lot of things we're about to say we no longer permitted to do. We will put it that way. Okay, lady, we see everybody on all types of social media. We see it every day when we go to work. We see it every day when we out and about. And yes, we're about to say this. Don't really care what the reaction is going to be because it's the truth and it needs to be said. Ladies, we need to do a lot better. Number one of the number one things we need to do is like we just said before we went into the break. Like we obviously know we're not a man, so we don't know on that end how men are as far as hating. We're gonna get into that last segment of the show. But ladies, we are doing very, very horrible. And that word will be describing it as an understatement. All this energy, and do y'all have any idea how much energy it takes to be mad at somebody? Or to even want revenge, or to even hate? We actually love it. You know, we know people is doing the same thing with us. We don't really care because they've not only said it, they've shown it as well, whether they male or female. Basically, we're saying we understand and we know how it is. Let them do what they gonna do. Do you? What's another phrase our husband likes to use? Do your worst. Oh yeah. Do your worst. That's even before, like we used to think the same way. Now it's the same mentality times 1,000. Because what do our people seek to do, especially black women? We seek to try to break somebody down to their lowest point. Um, take everything, not earn it. We doing it on our back, ladies, or we're doing it another way. Let's be real. Or we're in a strip club or wherever. You ain't gotta be in the club no more. Just shake your behind wherever, just to go viral. Another phrase our husband like to use is baby talk. That help you go viral. Or we be on social media half naked. That help you go viral. Call us whatever you want to call us, but that's what we've seen. The one thing in common with all these videos, everybody want to be seen, be number one, which that's not going to happen. Just to be other than who you originally are. And well, let's walk up to just any sister right now and ask them, do you know what the word modesty means? We bet money they have no idea. They're going to look at us like, what? Oh, so I can't have my breast and my booty out and I can't wear, weave or makeup or none of that. No 6-inch heels, none of that. Not with Islam. And that's why a lot of our women don't want to accept it because they can't do what they want to do. And if you don't, it's a death sentence anyway. But we really act like without even accepting it, ladies, without even asking any question or trying to get some knowledge whatsoever, we are not, I can't do all that. I don't know if I can do that. Okay, well, do you? We've been on that side. Like we said last week on our show with our husband, we've been on that side. It didn't work for us. Real talk, you can only lie yourself for so long. Now, you Do it till you leave this earth. We don't know how. Because if you got at least a little bit, if you got at least a little bit of common sense, you would want to do something to change the definition. And we said this on the show: the definition of insanity. You're doing the same thing, getting into the same relationship, same business move, school, whatever, work, same thing happening over and over, and you thinking in your mind that's gonna end up differently. That's insane as hell. Because it's not. And we are so slow. We've been there. As black women, we ain't caught on yet. We running around talking about men ain't no good. Stop choosing the same kind of men. Then when that don't work out, we want to flip over to the women's side. Nah, you ain't supposed to be doing that anyway, because I got the same chromosomes. She ain't supposed to be doing that anyway. But think about it. If you ain't having no luck with men, how you think you gonna have luck on the other side? It's gonna be the same BS, it's just in a different body. That's why we always say you gotta change yourself. Then you'll attract the right kind of people. The correct, righteous kind of people. For real. And you're gonna see results you never thought you would see. We know that right now. We won't get into it, but we can't say you ain't got to believe us. But we've seen changes physically on the inside of us. We still got to work on our emotion, you know. And everybody like, did she really just say that? Yes, we did. Because how else you going to change and do something different if you don't acknowledge, yeah, you know what? I ain't perfect. It is what it is. But that's something we need to, and we still changing, you know, and day by day, minute by minute, whatever. You know, everybody go at a different speed, you know, if you will, but at least as long as you're going in the right direction, sure, that's cool with us. But if you can honestly say, like, ladies, you can look at your life, your man, husband, kids, whatever, and honestly say you happy, we don't stand in nobody's way because you're really supposed to be grown. You're supposed to be. Act your age, not the size of the shoe that you're wearing. Yeah, we just said that too. And we all, I'm going to door. You're going to respect me. I'm a queen. You're going to respect me. Look at the definition of what that really is. And we mean the dictionary. We don't mean go on Google. We don't mean go on Safari, none of these search engines, because guess who control that? Do we really have to say it? We all know who control that. Look in the dictionary of what a queen really is. Because we can promise you it ain't nobody with their booty out. Ain't nobody twerking on some strange man or female they don't know.
Or coughing.
Coughing. Oh yeah, coughing too. You ain't wearing no makeup, no weave, no fake nails. You're not out here lying, cheating, stealing. Yeah, it look like on our end it'd be 10 times as hard, but everything we going through is for a reason. So everybody be looking at us and our husband like, you know, where's your God at? Right here. What you mean? We still alive? Ours exists. Yours doesn't. Just being real. What was I about to say? Half naked on social media. You know, in every dude face, sleep with everybody you can. That's not what that represents. A queen, a real one, an Asiatic black woman, not African American, because they do all that to divide us, make us think we different, whole 9 yards. No. We been lied to, and we already know this. We know this already. And we're going to say this, and we're going to go into our next week, then we're going to need our husband, because we're finna go in on the fellas. Back. A queen is, you are a leader. of all Black women. We give life, not to abuse it, not to neglect it, not to ignore it, but we give life so we can teach the righteous way to the next generation, to our kids. But they're not going to follow a righteous example, a righteous one, if you're not putting it out there. And by no means is anybody ever going to be perfect. But you can do better. You can do better, but it's up to you. Don't live your lifestyle a certain way, whatever that may be, and then be shocked and surprised when your daughter or your son want to go do the same thing because you're telling them. And then you can sit here and tell your kids, we done did it. I'm just telling you this because I don't want you to go down the same path, and they still go down the same path. Like, no, that's not why I told you that. I told you that so you wouldn't do it. But when your kids or whomever's around you ain't seeing nothing different other than you just talking and you not putting no action, no righteous action behind a thing you're doing, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to follow suit. And then we got another generation of messed up Black kids. And nobody's out here that we know of, whether than ourselves, our husband, and who else, baby? That's really teaching about Honorable Elijah Muhammad, doing it the right way. That's about it. Yeah, we can't. We can't speak for nobody else. So like we said, ladies, that's the definition. You a leader. You an Asiatic Black woman. You are the maker, the owner. Get this right. The cream of the planet Earth and mother of civilization. We said mother. And fellas, we're going to get into y'all in a minute. Y'all the father of civilization. That means we got more power, man. Can't get into it right now, but we got more power and abilities that we realize, y'all. But we too lazy. We just like being like everybody else, taking the easy route and the lazy route and settle and whole 9 yards. And you wonder why your life is in shambles. It's on you. It's because of you. That's what we had to tell ourselves. Yeah, we had people do us wrong, blah, blah, blah. We done moved on. But still, our reaction, emotion, whatever, contributed to all that. And like we said, we had to stop lying to ourselves and just face the fact that we got some work to do. And we still do. We always will. We ain't never gonna stop learning. Period. You know, if you're willing to be an open book, if you will, and do something different with your life, that's your decision. Nobody else is going to be able to do that for you. So that's it, y'all. So that's it for the ladies. Now I'm going to take a break. When we come back, let our husband take the lead. You know, we're just going to get into it. It don't even matter. We're going to talk about the fellas because what we do in this is we talk to the women, husband talk to the fellas. So that's how we finna do this, y'all. And we all got to get it right. We all got to get it together. So regardless, you know, and we know it's going to be by force and that's sad, but it is what it is. But we want to see our people do a whole lot better. But we can want that all we want. But you got to want it for yourself. So what we finna do is take another break, y'all. And we'll be back with our husband real briefly here on the Queen Candy Podcast. What's going on, y'all? Just like that, we are back on our Sunday Positivity Talk and another episode of the Queen Candy Podcast. So, before we went into the break, of course, we chat up with the ladies really fast to let them know they roll, accepting the truth, so on and so forth, stepping up, being a leader, and how to properly conduct yourself as a queen. And those are topics we're going to constantly be talking about here on the Queen Candy Podcast. So now, like we said, as promised, we want to holler at the men, at the fellas. So, like we also said before we went into the break, in Islam, how this goes, proper protocol, another word, as well. The women teach the women, and the men teach the men. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna, of course, bring our husband, also our co-host of Real Talking Real Topics, KLG, on real fast, real briefly, just to holler at the men, um, give his knowledge, if you will, on men being leaders and accepting the truth in Islam and accepting the truth. Basically, you're not afraid of nothing. Most men possess what you call a Christian way of being, if you put it right. Christian way of being. Many people admit that the devil, no matter what you believe or you believe, you have a Christian way of being. You believe in things like God and because you need this man-made device to stay powerful. This is the number one man of value. The second excuse, outside of the first excuse, is lack of truth. The second excuse is we never have it. Lack of us never have. We did now also. We is zero. Unless you going to keep up with the Joneses, then it'll mean something to you. However, black men, we are the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe, and father of all civilization. It's very hard to be a copy of something you're the original document of. So if you're the original person, for all you that just might have said something in your head there, the Adam and Eve theory, that was the first Caucasian people, devils. Yakub on the island of Pilan and Patmos in the Aegean Sea with 59,999 got together and had them go see the doctor first. After they see the doctor, they got to go see a lawyer to get a certificate. Then they got to go get a judge to sign off on the certificate. Then they can go get married. This is all Yakub's way of life. So as long as that's part of your mainstream focus of how you move, backstabbing, lying, don't trust yourself, so you can't trust nobody else. Uh, all this other stupid stuff that men, we as men do without knowledge is only inebriating the inevitable. You want the sister to be on a certain level, but you're supposed to teach her that. How you gonna teach her that if you can't teach yourself nothing? Or you don't believe nothing. All you believe in is how to pay bills. I'd still be a good slave with the same name. Still acting like a little kid, celebrating holidays. Still turning the whole learning curve back into the figure eight to nothing instead of branching out of it. Well, Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Master Farad Muhammad to be praised forever in the flesh brought a system that changes all of that. And that system makes the man own up for his responsibilities, own up for his inability to protect his women, so on and so forth. Own up to being a straight up brother, where your word actually means something. And it's not to benefit you in some form or fashion that you're going to give somebody your word so you can get something out of it. That ain't how it works. If you're a leader, you lead. You don't watch what somebody else doing, pattern yourself behind it. That makes you a follower.
of the wrong type of person. You've been following that since you've been alive.
When you were a child.
Exactly. So now that you're an adult, you need to follow an adult lead. That comes from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You can say what you want to say. If you don't know, you just don't know. If you never studied, you never fully did it the way you're supposed to do it. If you don't know how to do it, you can always hit us up. We will break it down for you with no problem. Protocols never change. Idiots just augment them. General orders never change. Hypocrites augment them to suit them. And then you take that based off of no knowledge. She ain't did no research yourself. And if you half did it, you did it wrong. Do it again. And you people that supposedly live by King James, you don't even know the half. You don't even know when it was written, the date, what King James was about, what old Michelangelo was about. You don't know nothing. The Pope of Rome, Caesar at the time, you don't know nothing about none of that. But you just lay claim to it and tell somebody that somebody died for your sins and you still sinning. How smart does that sound? Somebody supposedly died so you don't have to sin, but you still sin. We'll wait. However, black man, time is now. You can feel it in your body because you got the material already. You just ain't answering. Now they're about to make a movie to make you run from the planes. Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
Run from the tones in your ear. Oh, you don't want ringing in your ear? Take this. No, you don't. You want your tones. You want everything you got coming, but you're going to need the truth. Or you might miss your pickup. This ain't the time to be acting stupid. This ain't the time for whatever your petty squabbles is. You need to put that in a deletion file and set it on fire. Because you can't travel back in time, so why you worried about the past? That's another downfall. Oh, such and such did this to me back in. If it already happened, you ain't do nothing about it then, yeah, what's the purpose? That leads to tearing yourself down from the inside, low self-esteem, because you're holding a grudge. And it's like my wife was saying earlier about anger. It takes a lot of emotional content to produce anger. It's all confusion and fear, but it produces anger.
Yep.
And it makes you act other than yourself. Give it to you like this in Proverbs, black man. This is what it says about you. It says, a woman standing on the porch with no clothes on. The house is on fire, including the porch, yet she's not on fire. And she walks back through the door into the house. Will the man enter? Answer, yes, he will. Question, why? Answer, because he is deaf, dumb, and blind. Half of y'all don't know what that means. But if you can't picture you will follow yourself to your own death, thinking you're going to wake up somewhere else, it should make some type of sense. How you going to leave somebody to get dead? Who going to want to marry that? Hey, you want to die? No, man. No. This inevitability after 1,000 years, listen to the words, after 1,000 years, this inevitability after 1,000 years. Not 50, 60, 70, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, blah, 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 blah. Don't believe me? Why Methuselah lived 969 years. Nebuchadnezzar, 979 years. Moses, 585 years. Abraham, 762 years. Jesus, 133 years. You heard it. How they pull that off? Yaqub, 150 years. It's documented on this planet in their books. You just don't know what to look for. Hell's in your encyclopedia. You really want to get a quick slap in the face. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Master Prophet Muhammad to be praised well, was right there under M for Muhammad. You're gonna be like, wait a minute. They tell you hocus pocus in there, but it's still documented. And they admit the fact that Allah was in a prison for a kind of one day and vanished, and they have not seen him since. That's documented. The story behind his vanishing is some hoi polloi, but they don't know no better but to promote evil, to make you dysfunctional. So anyway, you run around with these names that ain't yours, because either you comes from John's farm, Will's farm, Tom's farm, Keith's farm, so on, Johnson, Williamson, whatever. All those names got insurance policy on them, so as long as y'all run around with them names murking each other, think you're going to wake up somewhere else, you're making them richer, and wonder why they're ahead of the curve. Again, black men, we don't own nothing. We got all these so-called billionaire celebrities ain't put together 5 nickels to produce one vehicle. Farmland, housing developments, that's different. Our own banking system, our own cryptocurrency. What the hell, y'all talking about this Wakanda garbage? You're gonna watch a fake people do it when they're actually mocking Uganda. Let's make a long story short.
Mm-hmm.
And they decimating them over there. But anyway, as a black man, you got to recognize, you know you got to change. You can't keep doing what you're doing. Unless you happy. Now, once again, if you happy with everything you're doing, don't pay attention to 2 words that's coming out of our mouth. But if you ain't happy with everything you're doing, you might want to hit us up. You'd be amazed what information can do when it's the truth. Can't argue with the truth. So this is not a debate session. It's not open for debate because we're telling the truth. You can't argue with the truth. It's nothing to debate. Only thing you can argue with the truth will be with falsehood. So if anybody comes with a debate or ready to debate, they bringing falsehood to the table off the dime because you don't know the truth. If you knew the truth, you wouldn't be trying to debate. There's nothing to debate about. You got it wrong, we got it right. It ain't that hard to admit. We had to admit it. Everybody got to admit it. Yes, as a grown man, you got to admit I was wrong. Everything I did was wrong. Lied, cheat, steal, whoremonger, whatever. Adultery, whatever you do. Thieving, murderer, whatever you got. Dope pusher, child molester, whatever you own. Klepto, car thief. Because that's what watching the aliens boxing, which you, the current name you got in the religious faith that you got and everything you believe in, that's what didn't got you so far. But the messenger brings a change. And we just wanted to put that all in your ears because our time is about it. And like we said, if you want to know more, you can always hit us up. You already know how to get in touch with us. Just Google Mikhail Muhammad, Military Camp Records, whichever one floats your boat. Wham! You're going to get everything you need right there. That way I know you see it's about when you're reaching out instead of just getting everybody my phone number and just blowing up my line for no reason, trying to argue and debate with everything we know already. You don't know Islam. If you knew it, you wouldn't be arguing with it. So with that being said, everybody have a fabulous, how should we say it, day?
Yep.
Good, great week.
Yep.
And search for knowledge.
Yep.
And get ready, because it's coming.
It's already here. Shoot.
Oh, we talking about the day they're going to have to.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to have to pause.
Everything. Okay, y'all. Shoot. Ain't nothing much we can come in and say behind us. What we going to go ahead and do is take our last break. come back and give y'all all our social media. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. So we're going to take our last break on the Queen Candy Podcast. Okay, y'all, and just like that, we are back. So what we finna do is give y'all all our social media, and then we're gonna go ahead and close out the show. So first and foremost, y'all can catch the Queen Candy podcast every Sunday, this and every Sunday on Sunday Positivity Talk every morning at 8:30 a.m. spreading positivity and motivation. And of course, y'all can follow us on all platforms. Next up, y'all can catch the Queen Candy Radio Show available 24/7 over on Zeno Radio. You can hear ourselves, and of course, you can hear our husband, KOG, of Military Camp Records. So y'all can go over there to the website, type in the Queen Candy Radio Show, y'all can check this out. It's available 24/7. Also, you can check out our book, which is titled And Purpose and Survival. It's available on Amazon as well. You will have to go over there and type in and say that secret for for 2 years. If you send it back, it's $20. And if you for 4 weeks, check that out as well. Also, the King Candy Podcast and the King Candy Radio Show is currently offering radio for independent artists only. Independent artists only. Clean music only. We accept all genres of music except for gospel. As y'all already know, we are Muslims, so we do not pump or promote that nonsense. We do not do any profanity at all. We take payments, we spread cash out. Y'all will have to mention the title. Period. If you want to be $5. Also, Thursday live at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time as well. And we mentioned all our social media. You can check out the Queen Candy Podcast once again on our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And you can check out Queen Candy Podcast on any podcast streaming platform, Anchor, Spotify, just to name a few, iHeartRadio, Good Pods, Amazon, Apple, and Google Podcasts, just to name a few. So you can check us out on any podcast streaming platform. Also, you can check out the Queen Candy Podcast and the Queen Candy Radio Show every Sunday and Wednesday on Clubhouse at 8 p.m. as well. Original music, great interviews, and we're